Alright, number 10 and 11, probably 12 too. Do them all in one. Write a quadratic in vertex form using the given information. Okay, so remember vertex form is y equals a x minus h squared plus k. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to plug in everything we've got except a. We'll plug in our vertex to hk, and we'll plug in our random point that they give us, that 6, 4 in for x and y. So here we go. That's our random point. So y is 4 equals a 6, and then we got our vertex 2 times negative 3. So that's minus 2 because we got to flip that. And it's a negative 3, so minus 3, that's our k value. Alright, and just start crunching, get down to a. If I add the 3 over to the other, that becomes a 7 equals a. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 squared. 4 squared is 16, so that becomes a equals 7 over 16, which you can use that as a decimal or you can leave it as a fraction. I'm going to leave it as a fraction. So y equals 7/16 parentheses x minus 2 squared plus 3. Done. Try the next one. Alright, hopefully you gave this one a try, but if not, here we go. Again, y equals a x minus h squared plus k. This is our random point, this negative 7, 3. And this one is our vertex. So, random point, I'll just put this up here real quick so that everyone is following along. Y is 3, a we don't know, x is negative 7, h is positive 4, don't forget to flip it, and k is positive 6. If I subtract the 6, that becomes negative 3. Negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3 as well. Negative 3 squared is 9, so I'll divide this by 9. 3 divided by 9, that's negative 1/3 equals a. And again, you can turn that into a decimal, but actually this one I don't want you to because it's repeating. So y equals negative 1/3 times x minus, plus 4 squared plus 6. That's your formula. Okay. Pause and give 12 a shot. Alright, number 12. The graph shows the parabolic path of a stunt motorcyclist jumping off a ramp, where y is the height in feet and x is the horizontal distance traveled in feet. Write an equation of the parabola. The motorcycle lands on another ramp 200 feet from the first ramp. What is the height of the second ramp? Okay, write an equation of the parabola. That's the first thing they want us to do. And they want to know the height of the second ramp, which is right here at about 200. So here, so we don't know the y value, but we do know the x value at 200. So we'll solve for the y value. Cool. So, but first we need an equation. So we've got a vertex, that's its maximum, and we have a random point. So yeah. The random point is 0, 20, so 20 for y equals a. X is 0, that's nice. 80, 30, so that's negative 80 squared plus 30. Remember, it's y, a, x minus h plus k. That's where all those numbers came from. So that's 20 equals a, negative 80 squared plus 30. Subtract a 30, that's negative 10 equals a. Negative 80 squared is something huge. Actually, 8 times 8 is 64. Yeah, it's 6400, because 8 times 8 is 6420, yeah, 6400 squared. Divide that over, that's a equals negative 1 over 640. That's your fraction. So there we go. Y equals negative 1 over 640. Just leave it as a fraction like everything else. X minus 80 squared plus 30. There's your equation. And they said, what is the height of the second ramp? The second ramp was at 200 feet. Well, if we plug in 200, y equals negative 1 over 640 200 minus 80 squared plus 30. No sense in crunching that out. Just stick it in your calculator and go. We get y is, give me a second, y is 7.5 feet off the ground. Well, we hope it's at least 7.5 feet off the ground. Any higher than that, you'd hit the front of it. But there you go.